Hello and welcome again to another day of classes. Today we're going to be continuing with the rest of the Unit 11 of the Interchange 5th edition Level 2, the Blue Book. Okay, in the last class we were talking about, famous landmarks and monuments and works of art. Today we're going to be talking about countries all around the world. In the grammar we were talking about the passive with by, with the simple past, and today we're going to be talking about without by, the passive voice, with the simple present. Okay, but to start, we're going to be starting with a word power. Okay, very good. So we have a word power about country fast facts. You're going to complete these sentences with words from this list. You can, investigate a bit if you don't know the answers, but take your time to complete this. Okay, you finished? Let's check. So let's see. The United States grows soybeans and wheat. Australia raises cattle and sheep. China manufactures electronics and textiles. In India, people speak many different languages and dialects. And you can find souvenirs and handicrafts at different shops in Brazil. If you have those answers, you are very correct. Very good. Okay, now let's go to this conversation that we have right here. It's called What Do You Want to Know? So we're going to be listening to both part A and part B, and then we're going to be answering the question, what other suggestion does Eric, interesting. It's not my exactly same name, but hey, Eric. You're going to be answering the question, what other suggestion does Eric give to Lisa? Okay, now let's listen.
Page 75. Exercise 8. Conversation. What do you want to know? Part A. Listen and practice.
Eric, you're from Amsterdam, aren't you?
Yeah, why?
I'm going there for a conference, and I'd like some information.
Sure, what do you want to know?
Do you use the euro in the Netherlands?
Yes, the euro is used in most of Europe, you know.
And do I need to take euros with me?
Not really. International credit cards are accepted everywhere, and they're much safer.
Of course. And what should I buy there?
Cheese, definitely. We raise dairy cows, and some really excellent cheese is made from their milk.
Good. I love cheese. Where is it sold?
You can find it at cheese shops all around the city. And don't forget to bring me a piece.
Page 75. Exercise 8. Part B. Listen to the rest of the conversation. What other suggestion does Eric give Lisa?
So when is your conference in Amsterdam?
In April.
Great! You'll be there for the Tulip Festival. I think it's the most beautiful spring garden in the world.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it. It's in the city, right?
No, actually it's located in Lies, about an hour south of Amsterdam.
How do I get there?
You can take a bus or you can go on a day tour. The tulips are gorgeous. They're really worth seeing.
I'm sure they are. Thanks for the tips.
Okay, very interesting countries to go and visit. Did you get the answer? What other suggestion does me, Eric, gives to Lisa? Okay, let's see. Well, Eric suggests that Lisa visit the tulip gardens. It sure is a really beautiful place. Okay, very good. Now let's go right away for the grammar focus of today. I hope that you remember the use of the passive voice, but if not, we can have a little thing to remember that we use this. I even have this thing here. Okay, we change basically from the active to the passive. The active, the important thing, it's the subject and not what the subject is doing to the thing. But with passive, the important thing is what is happening to the thing. We can see here that in the active way of putting this sentence, she cleans the house twice a week. But Here, the important thing is that she cleans it. But in the passive voice, the important thing is what is happening. The house is cleaned twice a week. Okay? And we use this when the agent is unknown or is not mentioned, when it is unimportant, or when it is obvious. Okay? Now, last class we were talking about how to use it with by and the simple past. But today we're going to be seeing it with no use of by and with the simple present. For the simple present, you just need to use the present of the verb be and the past participle. So, the present of be, is or are, in some cases am, and a past participle, okay? So in the active here, we have they use the euro in most of Europe, okay? And when we change it to passive, we need to put the present of the verb be, is, if it's one, are, if it's multiple, like credit cards, and then the past participle. So the past participle of use is used. They use the euro in most of Europe, and the euro is used in most of Europe. That will be the passive voice. Most places accept credit cards. In passive, credit cards are accepted at most places. It's basically like to change the order. We raise dairy cattle in the Netherlands. Dairy cattle are raised in the Netherlands. That is basically the way to change it. If you understood last class, this is going to be really easy. You just need to know that we don't use by, but we use the present of the verb be, is or are, and the past participle to change it. Okay? Very good. If you understand this, very good. Perfect. Okay, now let's do some exercise. We're going to be starting with this one. You're going to complete the sentences using the passive of these verbs. Remember, this is in present, okay? So you need to use the passive of these verbs, okay? Take your time to complete it, and when you finish, we're going to check. Okay, you finished? Let's check. So for number 1, French and Flemish are spoken in Belgium. Okay, French and Flemish, it's two, so it's are. Rice is grown in many Asian countries. Cars and electronics are manufactured in Japan. Sheep's milk is used for making feta cheese. Handicrafts are sold in the streets of in Thailand. A lot of cattle are raised in Australia. If you have those answers, you're very correct. Okay, and now with the second part, you're going to be completing this passage using the simple present passive form, the one that we have been seeing here. And when you finish, we're going to check, okay? You finished? Let's check. Well, many crops are grown in Taiwan. Some crops are consumed locally, but others are exported. Tea is grown in cooler parts of the island, and rice is cultivated in warmer parts. Fishing is also an important industry. A wide variety of seafood is caught and shipped all over the world. Many people are employed in the food processing industry. If you have those answers, you're very correct. Very good. Okay, let's continue. Now we're going to be having a listening. Interesting. Listening. Okay, is all tourism good? You're going to be listening to a news report about tourism in Costa Rica. There are 6 effects of mass tourism that are mentioned. And there are 2 extra effects. You're going to indicate if they are positive or negative. And then if you want, you can listen again, and you're going to write down the 3 criteria the hotel fulfills in order to be an ecotourism business in Costa Rica. Okay, so there is a lot of work. So you can listen as much times as you need, and then you're gonna complete it, and then we're gonna check, okay? So let's listen.
Page 76. Exercise 10. Listening. Is all tourism good? Part A. Listen to a news report about tourism in Costa Rica. Select the 6 effects of mass tourism that are mentioned. There are 2 extra effects. Indicate if they are positive or negative.
We're coming to you live from the Ecotourism Conference in San Jose, Costa Rica. Ecotourism is a form of responsible tourism that aims to protect the local environment and culture. Alberto Rodriguez, an environmental studies professor from the local university, is here with us to explain. Good morning, Mr. Rodriguez. Can you tell us how tourism has changed Costa Rica over the last 10 years?
Good morning, Emily. Well, tourism has been good for the country in many ways. English is now spoken more than ever, and many Costa Ricans are bilingual. Tourism jobs are available all over the country, and more foreigners are investing here, so it's been good for our economy. But there have been costs to the country too. With mass tourism, acres of jungle are cut down so high-rise hotels can be built. Fish and lobster are hunted in our waters to feed to tourists. 25% of Costa Rican land is protected, but what about the other 75%? Ecotourism has become the answer to that question. The government reviews businesses and decides if they qualify in the ecotourism category. Then they put them on a list, so travelers can choose them when they visit our beautiful country.
What makes a business an ecotourism business? What are the criteria?
Well, let's look at this hotel where we're having the conference. It fulfills some of the most common criteria to be a certified ecotourism business here. Local Costa Ricans are employed, waste is recycled, energy-saving devices are used, and visitors are educated about our culture and environment.
Fantastic. Before we go, Mr. Rodriguez, is there anything you'd like to say to all the travelers listening to you right now?
I would encourage all travelers to visit ecotourism businesses when traveling. They can learn about nature without disturbing it. Together, we can make a difference.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Live from San Jose, Costa Rica, Emily Jameson reporting.
Okay, very good. Did you get the answers? If not, remember that you can go back and listen again as much times as you need. But now, let's check the answers. Let's see what are positive and what is negative. English, the positive things are that English is spoken more than ever. More foreigners are investing there. Tourism jobs are available all over the country. But the negatives are that fish and lobster are hunted, acres of jungle are cut down, and 75% of the land is unprotected. That is something really, really negative. And did you get the second part? Let's check. So, local Costa Ricans are employed, waste is recycled, energy savings devices are used, and visitors are educated about the culture and environment. If you have those answers, very good. Now, let's go to the last thing for the day, that is the reading. Okay, let's put it in a way that you can read it. So, first, let's gonna read this. We're gonna read this, and then we're gonna do some activities about this. You can stop the video to read this part, stop the video to read this part, and stop the video to read this part. And after you read this advertisement, okay, you're gonna find the words that were in italics below, and then you're gonna circle the meaning of each word. Then we have fascinating, a star, unique, constantly, exhibit, or nil, okay? So if you get the answers, let's check. Well, sometimes fascinating makes you feel very interested. The star of a collection is the best part. A unique thing is different from all the others. If something is changing constantly, it's changing all the time. An exhibit is an object that is on show. A needle is a metal object that is used for sewing. Okay? That is when you're making coats and stuff. And now the second part. You're gonna read the comments of 3 visitors to the museums. and you're gonna write letter A, B, or C of the museum you think they visited. Okay, let's check. Number one, I just don't know how he made such little things. It's letter C, micro miniature museum. I can't believe that an animal would use something like that. That is letter A, Sulab International Museum of Toilets. And I felt a little afraid about going down, but it was a great experience in the end. That is B, Underwater Museum. If you got those answers, very good. You are correct. Well, that is everything for today. I hope that you like this class. Okay? So, in the next class, we're going to be continuing with the unit 12. So, I hope that you look forward for it. But that's everything for today. So, see you in the next time. Bye.